There's a whole menu of zombies in the movie industry. Some are plain stupid.
What we call a homer.
And some Dominic Toretto couldn't even take on to save his family. I'm gonna share what my strategy would be for zombie movies and TV shows I think I could easily survive. Or possibly not. Putting the 28 Days Later universe first is brave. I know. I'll be completely honest with you, ain't no way I'm surviving a single day. They had the right idea in 28 Years Later of living on an island off the coast of Scotland. I could get behind that. However, after watching 28 Years Later, the infected have a new technique. They have the power to completely throw you off with their slongs. Not only are you running away from the infected, but now you have their meat flapping around everywhere. Nobody wants death by zombie meat, and nobody wants to die to a zombie without knowing where to look.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys!
Now, the common answer to this would be, okay, easy. Head over to the local pub for a lockup. Well, that, sir, is wrong. Have you watched the movie? It didn't work. The pub was destroyed and Sean was saved. But in a universe where they train zombies to work for them on a day-to-day basis, doing simple jobs like collecting shopping carts, how hard can it be to survive? I'm pretty sure Sean made it difficult for himself by trying to get to the pub. I would have just chilled at Liz's apartment and waited for it all to blow over. Although that wouldn't have made for a good movie, right? Slow, easy to kill. The Walking Dead universe is light work to survive in. The biggest threat is humanity itself. With all the different groups, it makes the Walking Dead universe a pretty tough one to last in. Unless you get yourself in a good position. Honestly, I'd be getting myself involved in a big group, kinda like what Eugene did. But in my own way. Minding my own business, grow potatoes, and live my life until Rick and his posse comes and messes everything up for me.
Hey! What's up, guys?
Basically, I'll be an NPC background character you'd see in the show for like 2 minutes of an episode. Do I need to say much for this? If a class of children can survive being protected by their teacher, then I think my chances are high. These zombies are so slow, they were being outpaced by a small tractor. As long as humanity doesn't go crazy, I think I could survive this one. My technique being, quite literally, just get a little jog on. Just hide away, avoid the zombies. They are pretty much just in that small dedicated like farm park, you know, so end of the day, I'll probably be safe unless I happen to be going to see some like goats and cows that day. Honestly, yeah. As crazy as some of these infected are with clickers, stalkers, and a whole range of fungi monsters, I'd quite simply just be a pussy and work away my grueling job in the quarantine zone. I don't need to get political with the Fireflies, and I don't need to become a smuggler to earn extra cash. I'll just live my life staying out of trouble and hope for the best. Of course, I'm basing this off the TV show. Something happens to the quarantine zone in the game, I guess I'm going down with it, baby. Unless you're stranded in Las Vegas, you have it easy. But Army of the Dead, I would quite literally not go to Vegas, nor join some crazy zombie heist. I mean, these zombies are pretty wild. They have zombie tigers, a zombie king. I think I'll pass on a trip to Caesar's palace. Guys, come on. The virus is airborne. Am I surviving? No, I'm not. What would my strategy be? I'd attempt to leave the infected zone, just like every other person was doing at the start of the movie. Duh. However, if you are immune, these infected do not come out until nighttime. Will Smith was doing too much, man. I know he was trying to find a cure, but being one of the only people living in New York looked like a laugh. He had his dog, he was living good, all he had to do was lock himself up at night. Easy as that. Just make sure you are shut away at nighttime, because you do not want to be in any sort of contact with these infected. They are brutal and they're not dumb either. And they got crazy zombie dogs. There's one way to go about the Warm Bodies universe. Riz. I'd simply ask ChatGPT to give me some flirting tips, and I'd go around chatting up every zombie I could find, until I can have my own army of zombie lovers. Easy as that. I asked ChatGPT to give me 3 short flirting tips to make somebody fall in love with you. And here's what the AI Rizzler cooked up. 1. Make eye contact with them and look away slowly. You in love with me yet? Mirror their energy. Give specific compliments. Yo, thank you so much for viewing this video. You're actually goated for doing that. Please subscribe. There we have it. That's 3 techniques I'd use to raise my army of Z's. Probably the funnest zombie universe to survive in, and I believe I could. If you follow Columbus's rules, I think you'd be sweet as. Especially if Madison from Zombieland Double Tap survived that long living in a shopping mall. The best possible option for survival in the world of Zombieland is the Bill Murray technique. Bill had a good thing going, living it up in a mansion, just a peaceful, lonely life. But maybe not for everyone, but it'd do the job for me. Just head out for supplies when needed and you're sorted. Just don't let a group of idiots stay the night or you might just end up dead. Nope, no way. Not a chance. I'm not that guy. I'm sorry. So I thought it makes sense to put these in some sort of ranked order, starting with 28 days later. We have Dead, Survive the Breakout, Just Getting By, and Happy Life. So 28 days later definitely goes in Dead, because there ain't any Scottish islands off the coast near me. Now we have Zombieland. I think I'd have to put the Zombieland in the category Just Getting By. I think it works out well there. The zombies, they're fairly easy. I think I could just about get by, but I still think it would be a bit of a tough one. Warm bodies. I'll have my army of lovers, of course, my loved up zombies, my romantic army, but it could be hard to get still. I think I'll have to put in Just Getting By too. Little monsters. I honestly think I could live a happy life for sure. Because at the end of the day in the movie, the zombies were just in that one area too, and I'm pretty sure all the zombies ended up getting wiped out from what I remember. So as long as I'm not in that area, I'm like completely safe. But even if they were everywhere, the zombies are pretty easy to avoid. Army of the Dead. So, like I said, just don't go Vegas, but I feel like that's sort of an unfair take for it. I think I've got to put myself in the position. So if I was in Vegas with the zombies, I would have to be dead. I actually would have to be dead, because those zombies are rough, and I don't think many people are surviving there. But if I went for my actual strategy, of course it'd be Happy Life. But I think we're just going to go for Dead. Shaun of the Dead, you know, I think I'd be big chilling. And at the end of the movie, I'm pretty sure, and at the end of the movie, they sort of like, at the end of the movie, it shows on the news channels that they've sort of trained the zombies to have jobs and stuff, and it all just seemed under control. I feel like I could easily do that. Like I've got years of zombie game knowledge in me. I think I could survive like some dumb zombies like I was Shaun of the Dead. So we're gonna go Happy Life. World War Z. That's going straight to first place in Dead, because those zombies I think are wild. That's gonna be before 28 days later too. Although they're both a little bit similar with their zombies. Like they'll both be very tough. The Last of Us. See, I would say Just Getting By, but I think it's going to be tough, because I don't think it's on the same level as Zombieland and Warm Bodies, you know? Can I survive the Breakout? See, the Breakout in The Last of Us looked tough to survive too, you know? Like, that looked pretty mental. I don't know if I'd be able to survive the Breakout. I think I probably could. But if we're going with my strategy and say I do survive the Breakout, then we're putting it in Just Getting By. See, I'm Legend's a tough one, because if I was to escape the infected zone, then it's Happy Life, right? But it looked kind of tough. Like if you watch the movie, you'll see how many people were trying to ram onto the like helicopters and boats and stuff. And if it was airborne, like how many of these people died, you know? So it's not going to be on Happy Life. It's not going to be on Just Getting By. Survive the Breakout, I think it's going to have to be Dead. Now, I kind of want to have one in Survive the Breakout where I can survive the Breakout and maybe last like a month or two. I think I might have to put Last of Us up to here, you know. It's not on the same level as Zombieland and Warm Bodies, for sure. And there is a lot of like battles going on with humanity too. Like there's all like bandits and stuff and gangs, you know. I could end up getting into some trouble. The Fireflies could bomb like I could end up get caught slacking by the Fireflies or something. Who knows? Who knows? I think Survive the Breakout maybe last a few months to a year. Click here to see more of my videos.